One game in the books, 3 more games to be played today. Next one that's coming up now is going to be Miramar once more, and then we're headed over to 2 games up Erangel. So it's going to be the only day, really, throughout the entire finals here that we get to split on the day. It's kind of interesting, but of course, all because we had the unfortunate situation of not being able to broadcast you any games on Thursday. For those of you guys tuning in now, I'm Toby, joined by Imperium, and we have got a pretty interesting, pretty interesting Miramar playing coming over here. Of course, if you're a Northeastern team, that's going to be a fast stretch, but we'll see. We'll see what teams change up and decide to do here.
As we do see, as per usual, back to normal broadcast with Zoekt Een Naam dropping straight out off the bat. They're going to be able to land in their usual place. Wouldn't it be a bit of a sickener if the first circle was, in the opposite direction?
Yeah, I know. That could be pretty interesting, not gonna lie.
But yeah, of course, Se7en Esports, they need a bit of a good performance in the books to really get them back confidence level wise.
Yeah.
But they're going to be landing closely enough to Northern Lights.
They will want something going their way this game, that's for sure. But then again, I mean, as much as we talk about it, it's also one of those teams that can just out of nowhere pull off a 20-kill win. I mean, whenever they hit their stride, whenever they really get things going, they're practically unstoppable. We'll see, though, if that's going to be the game for them here or not. PG, where are you guys going? Seems like they're going down towards Val Del Mar.
They are indeed. They're going to be joined closely by Avangar. You said, teams that like to land around in the northeast. Avangar switching things up completely, moving their way. Yeah, look at that.
Things look good now. They feel cursed now. Yeah, exactly. This is interesting, though. I think what PG read on this one was that Avangar would go up towards the Copraria because of the plane path, but the Avangar, they were like, nah, we'll go down south, and now they're on top of one another with PG as well. Pelcic on the other side of things finds Rita early. That's going to be Rita down, unfortunately for her. We saw her go out early last game, too, with that vehicle being upside down and the nade thrown straight in the face. But Quickmath ain't about to share this compound with no one. Good thing, though, for Pelcic that he gets that one secured because he was all by himself there.
It was a good play coming out from him. Unfortunately, Rita, she'll have to go back to the drawing board a little bit and get ready for the next game, of course. And we'll still be able to communicate with the rest of our team and just give a little bit of support. Yeah, they're going to move on in this game.
I've always found it so rude that there's loot on the top of these buildings because you cannot get up there. Like, you can't get up on the roofs of the building.
Teasing you?
Yeah, it's like, no. Imagine if there was, like, always an AWM up there that you just couldn't get. Just for the sake of being there, It's I guess unless if you have a bike and you pull off some insane stunt and fly up there, then there's pretty much no way of getting up on those roofs. But enough about that. Zoekt Een Naam, we talked about them before, how they would probably wish for a similar circle to last game. Well, not quite the case. Up north they go.
As you said, they got a little bit cursed 2 games in a row, but last game they still did well to finish in 6th place overall. A couple of points on the board for them as well. One thing I was looking at, and I kind of noticed with the leaderboard, is that even though we had a bit of a couple of changes, that Northern Lights are still about 20 points ahead. And the good thing for them is that these teams are kind of fighting for taking the top spot or winning these games, is that with so many of the teams that are kind of doing that, it is allowing them at times to keep that point difference at the same place, even if they have a bad performance themselves, because the teams around them are not being consistent as it is.
No one's being consistent.
No, true, but, we haven't seen them be knocked off their top spot yet anyway.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, they're holding it now, and I'm assuming that coming into the next game, at least, they will be able to do so, too. But then we're making our way over to Erangel, and it's been a little while. It's been about a week now since we last set foot on Erangel. Of course, we're going to finish off with 2 games on Erangel today, and then tomorrow it's going to be all 4 on Erangel. So for anyone who's a bit confused as to why we started off with 2 days of Miramar. I was confused a bit too to begin with, but it actually makes perfect sense. The players and the admins were very good in coming up with a decision together, so everyone's agreeing that it's not back and forth between the maps all the time, but there's a continuity, as you said as well. Cormac very correctly stated that getting to play more games in a row on one map, you tend to find those patterns. It's easier to work around the same environment for a while instead of being thrown into new stuff all the time.
Course, and I'm looking forward to having a bit of a wrangle myself.
Ooh, that buggy's gonna roll.
But man,
that buggy's gonna roll. Paul Derek throws the nade on up. Miramar trying to get a bit of a sneaky peeky side position. And for We Need a Home here, if they lose their second player this early on, that will be a tough break for them for sure.
It would indeed. I like what Miramar has done. He knew that Paul Dirk was going to be able to spot that. We also see Lipsin and the other final member, making his way down. It could be, unfortunately, a bit of a situation of, oh, what? Paul Dirk gets back in the buggy? He's going to potentially do that. He's not taking too many shots off now. In saying that, as Miramar looks for the opportunity, but isn't really going to be able to do that much for now as Paul Dirk gets out of that buggy once again.
I think Paul Dirk did that to bait out potentially Miramar to stay, because he knows he has his teammates around him. But as we say that, a Leon Combat full speed forward. They've pulled up on the compound, and Paul Dirk, he needs to get the hell out of Dodge, because there's going to be bullets raining on in towards him now.
Sometimes that can be the unfortunate thing about trying to bait an enemy team, is that you end up getting baited yourself, you know. However, you got to say he still was able to push out. And Compat, we saw, actually took a tiny bit of damage from, I believe it was either Lipsin or Rip9 up on top of that ridge.
Yeah, they were playing it well from the top up there, trying to grant their teammate and Paul Derek any kind of support as he was trying to escape that compound. And it did work out, fortunately, in the end. But now they are split on each side of the road, and we'll see if they manage to find their way together at some point anytime soon, or not. Riddle. Well, I mean, Riddle, what are you going to do here? They have a pretty clear path ahead of them as far as rotations go, but of course it doesn't mean that they ain't going to be running into trouble.
Talking about running into trouble, Desperado's looking for Moon on the side of Winside, but Denethor is also quite close by. So this could be, unfortunately, a bit of a bad situation for Calvin Klein if he's not too careful. But he gets the shots off, gets a kill onto Moon. That puts Winside back down to 3 players in the second game.
Pretty impressive that they found Moon, right? Considering that it's during the day.
Oh, God. Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
That's the peak of my humor. Yeah. You're in for a good one here. Gypsy, he spots out Besiktas. Wow. That's a good tap.
Very good.
Ain't nobody gonna be complaining about that other than Besiktas, of course. Oh, rogue vehicle almost takes out a player. Arrow's like, wait, what? There's no one in the car? What? Almost fakes out and takes out Lockstep, but not gonna happen. Lipsin though down, and seems to me like We Need a Home can just not catch a break whatsoever. 3 players down, and now it's all Paul Derek left remaining.
Feels bad, man, for We Need a Home. You said it yourself. They can't seem to catch a break, at least in this second game. For now, came into an early bit of trouble.
Yeah.
They just continues to find them.
That is unfortunate, to say the least. A tough start. And Nailup now spotting out T-Bone as well. Everything so far has been rotation kills, and we've lost 8 players already. That is so tough. Vex going out, Clip securing kills. It's just everyone trying to make their way up north here. And there's just all over the place players waiting to line up those shots on rotations. That is what makes Miramar so damn tough to play around. And one of the reasons that, players, they've been asking, how can we fix this? What can we do in order to make rotations viable on this map? Well, it's not a whole lot to do. You just gotta rotate better for him.
Just gotta rotate better. You gotta play the games.
A lot easier said than done, though.
Of course. Yeah. All these teams are doing absolutely fantastic jobs. Naileup was able to survive being on the bike and taking shots from Zoekt Een Naam, trying to get their revenge after taking out the one and only T-Boone.
T-Boone. Is that a new name? T-Boone? I can go with that. T-Boone.
T-Boone, yeah.
What is a boon? Is that a name of anything? A boon?
Boon. Isn't it the thing, when you have a microphone?
It's a boom, I think, with the
boom?
right?
Okay.
I don't know, I'm not sure. In any case, Circle goes east, and that's what we're going to talk about now. No more booms. More booms for that sake. Maybe some explosion booms, but when we meet that boom, we'll get himself some kills. I'm going to stop now, sorry. But Avangar, PG as well, Tornado, and 4AK. They have a bit of a traverse to make here. It seems like both Zoekt Een Naam and PG are going to make their way down south, which makes sense, and everyone else has to find a way over to this, somewhat open eastern side of the circle.
I do feel kind of a little bit sorry for Avangar, because they were doing such a good job at getting into the circle, and then it shifts so far east. That's kind of, we have to keep driving again. But the way they're going about it, I really like how they're going up north and then going to look to drop down there.
Avangar, they're one of those teams that actually don't mind this too much. They can play blue until circle 3, and they're like, hey, here we are, welcome, and then they start fighting. So that's actually not too far away from their comfort playstyle, I guess you can say. A team, though, that I'm looking to see results from this game is Se7en, and we've talked about them so many times before. Both these guys and Tornado Energy, they have some impressing to do as far as getting some good performances. And the only thing is for Tornado Energy, they have the numbers already that they came off with a really good start to the tournament, so they are not that pressured. But for Se7en, I mean, if they continue to not pull off any more than like 5 points per game or even lower than that, then things are going to be looking really dark for them, because they're already sitting down, I believe, 13th place right now.
They are about 13th place indeed. Did you see side of Quickmath Mice? Going to get a couple of shots off onto Winside for now. There's also the final member, We Need a Home, also going to be facing under a decent bit of pressure if he's not too careful, because we have Tornado Energy moving in. Of course, he could look to just kind of go, okay, we'll let you take each other out.
Exactly.
We'll pick up the pieces, please.
I would be very surprised if Paul Derrick starts shooting now. Very surprised.
Of course, he's not going to do anything other than just sit back, relax, soak in the desert sun, and find the right opportunity when it comes up to him. 4AK have actually taken the same route as Avangar to get into the circles, so that's definitely going to be interesting when it starts closing in more heavily. That's going to put them closer together. I thought 4AK were going to go down south.
Yeah, they were kind of looking to do it that way, but that kind of makes sense here, considering that La Cooperaria used to be their main drop spot.
Yeah.
So them going back up there, it's going to mean that, they get into some of those familiar surroundings, and of course having Avangar right around you, that's not going to make things easy whatsoever, but it does mean that at least they're playing from an area of the map that they should know pretty well.
55 players alive, 16 teams still up on board. We Need a Home with one final member, as I mentioned. However, Edukaz on the side of Moon looking to get that knockdown onto Desperado fake.
Yeah, Moonwolf do manage to get themselves a knock over in Hacienda. Yeah. That's going to be only the knock, I think, for now. Not a whole lot more to it than that. But, of course, damage applied early can be your benefit in the late game if you start fighting that same team once again. You see Washout, you see all of Moonwolf here. They're on the eastern side of San Martin, I should say. And now, well, I mean, they get to stay if they want to. They might not, though. Anoktiv finds one of the players in 4AK, and there are multiple more coming his way.
Said it's going to be a little bit risky if they're going to come up against each other. Now we see Avangar and 4AK getting shots off onto each other. A fantastic nade from a knocks down Ronnie Cray, and 4AK are down to, I believe, one member? No, two members. No, one actually.
Yeah,
Ronnie Cray's knocked down, yeah.
Next is all by himself, and unfortunately, Ronnie, you are going to suffer the fate of hopefully not being BM'd to death. No, not if he makes it easy. He's gonna make it very, very painless. Death coming in. Nixties from a oh wow, Asteroon with the barrel. That's from far away. Takes out 4AK. That's gonna be the full team wipe there. Now Northern Lights and Se7en Esports getting into the action here as well, as they started rotating on forward. Northern Lights, they had the compound already, and as you can see here, Se7en, not the greatest push on up so far. Nates are coming in from the side. Quizzy trying to get a better off angle here, but he's going to be taking a lot of shots in his direction too. Yeah,
Se7en Esports are in a desperate situation because they have no tag team. Also from a distance, Desuptic also just looking to take shots off with that mini 14 in the deep, is spotting him out. Nade gets thrown out, but it's not quite going to connect onto Se7en. So far, so good in terms of them surviving. Still, all four members are essentially up as Edelweiss gets revived.
It is going to be really hard to get away from it. How the universe did Edelweiss not just get knocked there?
I've no idea.
What?
That's, I know. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
In any case, I mean, Quizzy in the deep, there are only two guys in the compound, so it's not exactly going to be an easy feat for them. The only thing is that we talked about how when you have a compound, you want to split out and not set everyone in the same house. That's going to be a hard. Frank is pushing up solo. Where's the help, guys? Edelweiss, you're way too slow on that push. Tries to come around the corner. Deep trying to hold the angle. Quizzy did manage to get down Frank just before, but there's still 3 more players to deal with.
That's actually a nice kind of flush coming out from Se7en Esports, but in the deep, one by one. He's getting the shots on as one knockdown, but he's going to take a lot of damage right now. Knocked down to over 22 health, but Quizzy in the side comes into that building and goes, "Oh, I'm here, boys and girls." However, he gets return fire. He gets knocked down, and that Se7en Esports squad wiped by Northern Lights.
I am completely...
Break it down, Toby. Break it down.
So first we saw yikes, followed by a yikes, and then a yikes.
That's what I thought. Yep.
How in the universe... Because I want to compliment Northern Lights for playing that well, but in all honesty, it was just Se7en playing it extremely horrible.
It was.
They never peaked together. They knew they were 4v2.
Yep.
They never played it together. At no point in none of the fights did they double peak anything. I know it's a hard compound to fight in. That whole staircase up there is really, really tough to push.
Yeah.
But they were just not playing that one together at all.
But even it started from right off the start because Frank ran in on his own, and you pointed out there was no follow-up from Se7en Esports straight away. It took him getting knocked to actually respond.
No way.
From there, one followed the other. So yeah, yikes followed by yikes followed by yikes. As a either way, look, Northern Lights survived. They lived to tell the story, so to speak. This game must go on because Fake is taking down Moonwolf so easily in terms of just knocking out and killing Resin.
Yeah, that was a good shot fired there. Miramar spotting out the guys and Moonwolf crashing into the compound, but he has to fall back down now as well. Riddle starting to chime in from the side. He needs to be ever so cautious. Don't over-peak, don't overstep, because every time you start accelerating on these mountain ridges, you're most likely going to be visible to X amount of teams on the other side. Circle once again shifted out east, and well, I mean, the majority of the compounds that were available have been taken already. There is still one more left up for grabs on the far eastern side, but I don't see anyone with a chance of making their way all the way over there.
Yeah, because if they even go anywhere near that road, that's going to completely expose their position. So Besiktas, they're not going to go near there. Well, geez, seems like they could be.
No, Besiktas wouldn't be in for that. The boom, he spots out one, spots out two, gets the double knock in. He's going to be able to finish off the guys on Tornado Energy. Multiple crazy engagements, back to back to back to back, coming in all over the place. And of course, with very little playable terrain available and 39 players still alive, it does force teams to do some of these, well, seemingly kind of YOLO-ish plays. But believe me, 9 out of 10 times they have looked through all the different opportunities and they go, guys, it's actually our only opportunity to do this, and then they kind of just sent it.
Oh, Melman, an example, they're under a lot of pressure. They're in the center. They're taking shots from all angles, Winside, no tag team. They're all looking out for those kills, but it's not going to stop them trying to fire them off. As talk about firing off, Nay's being thrown by Avangar, looking for Quickmath. Compound outside the circle, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're playing for dead space right now. It's not going to grant them anything. Of course, they get to stay alive, but the push from the compound into the circle is going to be equally hard. Millman is alive for now, but this could potentially, once again, beat Tornado Energy out really early on. Asterin holds the angle, gets down 2-0. Not able to take down player number 2, and that in the end is Millman taken out. So Tornado, as we said, they needed a good game. Didn't have it in game number 2 either.
Indeed, you see Pelty inside Quickmath returning fire onto Avangar and knocking down and killing Onuk. Mice is now going to be able to be revived. We do still have Talk and Maxizor still up on the side of Avangar that they'll be able to possibly push forward. But if you notice, they're taking shots from Besiktas.
Yeah, that's the thing. Besiktas, they have the angle on towards them. I was going to compliment Avangar for actually pushing around, but now they get spotted out. Maxizor, though, great headshot once again. He's a beast with the bold actions, and it works out perfectly. Misa, though, from a distance, takes out Maxizor, and in the end, it's going to be just Talk remaining. We saw Macken go down just before. It's going to be Gamerlegion eliminated. Misa, damage on towards him. Nate thrown, but no kills coming in just yet.
He's surviving just for now, running past the blue zone into the circle as quickly as possible. He's going to be flushed out. Insolonzo throws a grenade, as Talk is trying to get revived, or trying to revive Maxizor, but he's taking shots out and
jump. No? Is it gonna go short? Is it gonna go far? Nope, it's gonna go right on the money.
Absolutely beautiful play coming out from Ensolonzo. I noticed that he'd separated from his team, but in a good way, because he was getting that separate angles. So either way, this next circle has been exposed. Look at those 3 or 4 teams that are deeply outside that circle.
Yeah, new circle pops once more, and who would have guessed? A third hard shift in a row going east, and Riddle are enjoying this in all ways possible. They will have a full-on turkey dinner ahead of themselves. Can they be able to just tap on people at a distance? They have so damn much room to work with up here in the cliff sides, because they're the only team up the hill. Now we do see Besiktas making their way in the direction. There's so many teams coming in from the west, and they'll have the hardest of hard times to make their way on over.
I like the fact that Colamenta had kind of stated to try and get a couple of shots off if they were being put under fire, but it's not going to work for now, as we're seeing shots coming out. Although Desperado, they take down 2 members of Winside for now, but not before No Tag Team returns and knocks down Tower.
Yeah, see Moonwolf out. Winside taken out as well. They were forced to make these crazy rotations. Now we see PG-18 trying to crash in towards the deep. Well, Northern Lights, they held up 1 team pushing in when they were 4 guys, or 2 guys alive, make that. Now let's see if they can continue to do so against the team in PG. Seems like the deep has been forced to leave the compound, actually. I kind of like this play. He has made his way out. He's inside the back of the truck here, and he realizes, you know what, it worked one time, it's not going to work again. Polderok stayed alive for so damn long, and yet he dies just short of placements.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad indeed. We're down to 8 teams, 20 players at fly. Quickmath, that final member for his side, and Desperado trying to take on No Tag Team, but he's being flushed from all angles, I'd imagine, as you do see Desperado. Towers gets taken out by Give It.
Yeah, Towers are taken out there. They were, again, one of those teams that were just forced on the western side of the circle. I mean, they were just having a hard time from start to finish. Deep, still just chilling inside the container here. See new circle pop in just about 20 seconds time. And honestly, right now, I mean, it's pretty spread thin. You got No Tag up on the northwestern side of things. They're pretty well in it right now. Then you got Besiktas out in the east. They're chilling there. And you have the southeast is claimed by Riddle. And then the center is Zoekt Een Naam. They had a really phenomenal day yesterday. And they, well, I mean, if they get anything that's close to a circle here, could pull off yet another good performance.
Zoekt Een Naam, who'd lost 1 member early on. They have center circle. There's the center compounds.
Only players inside the circle, 2 out of all 17. That is a good start for them on this final circles.
Means they don't have to move at all. They can just kind of position around, make sure they have all angles covered. Pick off a couple of other players left, right, and center if they get the chance. Otherwise, they just wait by their time and just hope that the enemies, they're little heads.
Also, I'm interested in seeing how No Tag plays this one. They have some playable areas out in the field. So you can see DC is just doing everything he can to secure what's behind them. Do not have that snake crawling on towards you. What they don't know is that there's actually one inside their compound. So hopefully they'll check the back of the container there too. Riddle, they get to stay up in the hills for a little while longer at least. Might have to push down a little bit, but should be able to stay put for now. As you can see though, Tummel and Simsy, they've made their way on over towards him, and they should be able to catch them out in just a short moment.
Here we do see Hami has been spotted by Besiktas. Oh, okay. Oh, come on.
Are they jumping to see if he's
I
in
think
there?
What
are they trying to see here?
Well,
I don't think they know he's in there. They would have naded or done something already.
Well, I think they're jumping to try and find Zoekt Een Naam, to be honest.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the No Tag players. Oh, that's what they were jumping for, trying to get the angle on towards No Tag. They knew they had far to go. They're trying to go out in the open, and this position simply ain't going to cut it for them. No Tag, 2 wins in a row if you combine the days. Here, 6th place coming in for them. Good performance, though, sitting well in it already, but with teams like Zoekt Een Naam, PG-18, and Besiktas still alive in this one, ain't going to make things easy whatsoever. You see they're nading their way forward. They're just wanting to clear everything here, and the deep is actually somehow still alive. One team that we know for a fact won't be looking behind them is going to be PG, but Zoekt Een Naam might be able to give them a little favor play here.
I gotta say, in the deep, absolutely fantastic play. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do to try and survive as long as possible in this game. But we do look at Besiktas Lux trying to find Riddle Esports. Riddle Esports, they only have 1 kill so far in this game, so that kind of does need to be increased a little bit to maximize their point standings or their standing points. But either way, they're gonna face pressure from Besiktas.
Some might argue that he's deeply in enemy territory here, because he's when he's made his way into the circle and he's thrown down now. And as I said before, PG, they won't be looking his way, so maybe he can get himself even better placement points than what we see with 5 teams remaining. Because Riddle and Tumblin Lux, they're fighting right now. 4v2. Deep does get found in the end. That's going to be D securing the kill. Going like, how the hell? Wow, where did he come from?
I'm sure PG will look back at this and kind of go, really, guys? Really? We didn't look there? We didn't look there? Okay, but that's something you're going to learn from, of course.
Of course.
As you see, Clib trying to be
7
spot
bullets.
out by Lux.
2 bullets.
Yeah.
You got to swap on over. That's the wiser play. The main Nakes are going to throw them forward now, as well as they're coming in return from Riddle too. It's going to make things really hard. Handy, bro. He's going to be down. That's going to be the flash coming in towards him as well. Lux tries to spot out one, but he's going to get a nade in return. And now Zoekt Een Naam utilizing the chance here to push on forward. Ival has left the compound, but the fight is over. Is he going to push further forward? Seems like he's going to stay up. Nope. He's going to fall back down. The fight ended before he wanted it to, and he's going to have to make that run on down.
Because Zoekt Een Naam need to realize that they have pressure from opposite direction from them, as they're sandwiched by PG and Riddle. So if they kind of move their way out, they're not too careful, they're really going to get themselves flushed out. However, what they can do is they can wait, because Riddle Esports are going up against PG right now. So Vascu, we see he's moved position.
Gotta give credit to Nemerith here. Super smart play. It's one of those small things that people tend to kind of miss, but he jumped into the vehicle, knew it was low HP, just gets it accelerated, runs behind it as it drives on forward, and uses it for cover all the way through, and now he's actually in a decent spot just on the edge of the circle.
Not gonna lie, I didn't notice that myself, and that was absolutely beautiful done by him.
Very smart place to use everything you have available to your advantage. He does have 119 spare bullets, so might as well use some of them since then. I will spot it out, but since they're gonna miss those two, Nemerith does get the knock on towards Page. So he gets to stay put for a little while longer at least. They are all inside the circle now, but as you can see, Riddle from up the hill here, they have all kinds of vision.
They have great vision. They're not exposing themselves too much. I thought it was going to be Zoekt Een Naam allowing PG-18 and Riddle to take each other out, but it seems like it is going all over in the favor of Riddle Esports for now.
Yeah.
Bullets flying all over the place with that Scar, just trying to get the final blow onto PG.
The thing is for Riddle, I mean, that's a good headshot on towards Yannick. I was going to say these in smokes are only going to last you so long, and eventually you will be within distance from where these nades from Zoekt Een Naam can indeed hit over towards you. Yep, let's just say that. Ival cooks one, throws it on forward. That could potentially be Nemerith down. Too far? Yes, a bit too far. Vasco, nade number 2 coming into play there. We see them all flying in the direction of Nemerith and Vasco is indeed going to get him down.
As we do see with this next circle exposed itself, Riddle Esports, they're looking pretty good. Clip gets a knockdown on the Ival for now. It's going to put Zoekt Een Naam down to 2 players, Vascu and Page. Only 2 members left. However, Page comes in and gets the final blow knockdown onto Clip right now. They're going to look to push forward, because Zoekt Een Naam, they need to make a play. They need to really push their way forward if they're going to get into this next circle. All the while, Dies, he's just kind of circling, just doing his best to try to circle around without getting caught out.
Clip did not have the trigger discipline needed in that situation. Unfortunately for him, he had a chance. He saw the first player. There was no way they had spotted him. Could potentially have had the angle on player number 2 as well, but not going to matter in the end of things. He's going to go down, and now it's a 3v2 in favor of Zoekt Een Naam. Riddle has the high ground, but they don't have the numbers. Jord trying to crawl around the corner here. What can he do with this position? Spots out one, but immediately falls back down.
Yeah, or they don't. If I was Riddle, you know, you don't necessarily need to do that much, because the circle is going towards you. So Zoekt Een Naam have to go towards you, so they have a higher chance of getting exposed. However, Hawk gets knocked down. That's going to be 1v3.
1v3, Simpson, you're in for a tough one here. I think he just got spotted, so at least he's been hurt at this point. Everyone's pushing on forward. Gets down the first one, but only 21 HP to work with. Knows it's not going to be easy. Gets the flash in, and no more to it, unfortunately for him. Zoekt Een Naam had a good day yesterday, and they get themselves a win with 7 kills here in the final Miramar game of the day.
But gotta say, Riddle Esports come out with 2nd place.
They got hot shifted 6 times.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah. So really good performance from them. They needed it.